Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, May 4th, the 26th day of Nissan. Here we go. Today's halacha, a small series that we're going to do now on the different laws that apply to coffee, believe it or not. You'll see what I mean as we go along. Question number one about coffee. You know in the morning that before davening, eating or drinking substantial things before davening is considered haughty. You are a good Jew, you haven't spoken to God yet, you haven't davened yet, and there you are saying, I want to eat a Danish. That's just like haughty, show-offy. That's like you're putting God second to, first I got to have a Danish. And therefore we generally tell people that they should not be eating or drinking where possible before davening. Everybody seems to say that a sip of water is considered totally fine, and you don't have to feel guilty about that. It's more like eating that's not allowed before davening. So the question comes up, of course, what about coffee? You know, in earlier times, they used to be much more strict about things like that, but the way people are living in our century right now, coffee at the beginning of the morning for a lot of people is kind of like a piece of their wake-up ritual, and it gets them all charged up for the morning, and it gets them basically ready to function. So Rav Belsky, Zatzal, was of the opinion that coffee, even with milk and even with sugar, should be allowed before davening, and it's not considered haughty because for most people who are doing that, they're doing that mostly to get their day in gear, which will make their davening in gear, and so he says, go ahead, if it's necessary for you, to have a coffee with milk and sugar. Rav Belsky also did say that he does not feel the same way about those very sweet cappuccino type of coffees where they're more of they're just not just to get you going, but they're like a really solid delicacy with a lot of sugar and a lot of flavoring and a lot of everything. And he said that that gets into haughtiness if you need to have that before davening. If you're just a coffee person and you need your coffee and sugar and milk, that's fine. If it's a fancy schmancy coffee, then no. If you're one of those people that has to have the fancy schmancy coffees, please speak to your rabbi about it, because Rav Belsky said it goes a little bit out of what should be minimally allowed before davening. Okay, next question. A lot of people like to dip their Danish in coffee. That's where the word Dunkin' Donuts comes from, I think. So that's not a commercial for them. But anyway, so the question comes up about brachos. Is the Danish the main thing and therefore the coffee gets no bracha? Is the coffee the main thing and the Danish gets no bracha? And most rabbis say that they both need their own separate bracha. There are two substantial things happening. So you'll need a mazonos on the Danish and you'll need a shehakol on the coffee. If two people ever eat bread together and there's a third person who's there who didn't eat bread together, it's still possible for them to have a zimun together to say the whole Rebbe sign of Arich thing of benching. They can do that as long as two of them two of them had bread and are ready for benching, and the other guy just had something at least minimal. And coffee would qualify as that minimal thing. So if you have two people who washed and had bread and a third person who had coffee, those people are eligible for a mezumin. Another coffee halacha for you is if your beautiful coffee is sitting there all hot and everything, a lot of rabbis urge you to make certain that you are able to drink it, and you're not going to like make a bracha and then say, and can't touch it to your lips, and you're going to have to make the bracha and then wait 5 minutes till you drink your coffee. That's not good. So make certain that the coffee is going to be palatable to you and that you can make your bracha and kind of quickly go right into drinking it. That's the way it's supposed to be.